If you're that guy and you just came off a draw, I think rematching will be the most competitive thing to do as an athlete. With the Jake Paul situation, is like, it's a money grab fight.
Davis was in a bit of a hole, and he gets an opportunity to fight Jake Paul for $200 million or whatever. I don't mind it at all. As long as Gervonta Davis comes back to the world of boxing after he gets done with this, hey man, you got your money, no worries.
The fight is getting closer as Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis train hard for their big showdown. Jake is focusing on building his power and size, while Tank is working on his speed and knockout punches. Both fighters and their teams are fully focused, and the tension is rising as fans watch them prepare for one of the most talked about matchups.
I don't get it.
Yeah, this Santa Cruz right here, the desert. You can't let it burn, baby, let it burn. Mind over matter, son, mind over matter.
This is the blues on
Ain't nobody doing no shit like this. Come in the desert. Trying to stay away from the desert, he come in the desert.
Shakur Stevenson shared his thoughts on the recent trend of unusual boxing matchups. He said that fights like Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis don't really add value to the sport. However, a fight between Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson is different because both are legends who have already secured their legacies. In Stevenson's view, if they choose to step back into the ring to make money, it shouldn't be seen as damaging to boxing. Instead, he explained that these kinds of events bring nostalgia to fans and don't hurt the sport the way celebrity-style exhibitions often do.
Bad for the sport of boxing?
I mean, I feel like in Floyd and Tyson situation is different than Jake Paul and Buddy. I feel like with Floyd and Tyson, it's like, okay, y'all deserve it. Y'all legends, y'all paid homage, y'all did the most for the sport of boxing already. So you deserve a big payday and be cool. I'm cool with it. I like it. But with Jake and Buddy, I feel like Buddy is a participate in the sport of boxing right now, and he just came off a draw his last fight. So if you're a real champion and top level guy that you say you are, which I think you are too, I think you're the truth. But if you're that guy and you just came off a draw, I think rematching will be the most competitive thing to do as an athlete. With the Jake Paul situation, is like, it's a money grab fight. So to me, it's like some WWE shit.
Do you think it helps? Like, I mean, okay, so he gets this fight with Jake. His value goes up.
No, it doesn't.
You don't? It don't?
Not in the sport of boxing.
You don't think
it may.
The demand more because he's, you know, because when we looked at the was a Floyd and
just hypothetical. You know, we speak hypotheticals at time, right? You go in there and that big ass nigga knock him the fuck out. I'm just saying hypothetical. Go in there and knock Tank the fuck out.
That big ass nigga being Jake Paul.
Yes.
Okay, just
knock him the fuck out. Because he's bigger than him.
Yeah.
For one. By chance, it is a fight.
I think the thing is with Buddy and Jake fight, I feel like it's two sides of me with it. Because from a competitive aspect and me being the mentality that I got, I feel as though I probably would have done a rematch. But then from a business aspect, if I would have done the rematch and I did not win the fight, the Jake Paul fight will be a lot less money and a lot less lucrative. So,
you think so?
From a business aspect, I understand that anybody that with a business mind probably would have took that fight for as much money as it was. So I'm a realist. Like, I ain't gonna just bash, bro.
No.
UFC President Dana White gave a blunt response when asked about the possible fight between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. He said not many fans are truly excited for the matchup, but admitted it could actually help Davis. At a time when Davis was facing public criticism and setbacks outside the ring, Jake Paul stepped in with a financial offer. White explained that even though many people are mocking the event, it could give Davis both exposure and money when he needs them most. He went further, surprising many by saying Jake Paul could realistically beat Davis. White argued this wasn't about boxing skill, but about natural advantages. Paul is bigger, stronger, and has more reach, while Davis, though powerful, is smaller and used to fighting lighter opponents. For White, the real question isn't about who is the better boxer, but whether Davis could overcome Paul's physical advantages in the ring.
Jake Paul to beat Gervonta Davis. This is not a fight that I'm excited for at all. I would rather have Gervonta Davis fighting in a real boxing match against the likes of Lamont Roach, Shakur Stevenson, Keyshawn Davis, Emmanuel Navarrete, anybody that is in the 135-pound division and around. That's where I want to see Gervonta Davis fight. However, we live in a world where everybody is trying to do things as big as possible. And the biggest fights possible right now, unfortunately for the sport of boxing, is an exhibition fight between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. So I do like it for this reason, though. I like it because it is allowing Gervonta Davis to have a fight that is going to be big and that the mainstream media is going to have to cover, the mainstream media outside the world of boxing. Gervonta Davis has been, without a doubt, blocked, having venues blocked, having fighters, having other promoters paying fighters away to go different directions from Gervonta Davis. So Gervonta Davis was in a bit of a hole. And he gets an opportunity to fight Jake Paul for $200 million or whatever. I don't mind it at all. As long as Gervonta Davis comes back to the world of boxing after he gets done with this, hey man, you got your money, no worries. But you gotta love Dana White having the audacity to pick Jake Paul in this fight.
Former world champion Paulie Malignaggi shared his honest opinion on the idea of Terrence Crawford fighting Jake Paul. He praised Crawford as one of the most skilled fighters in modern boxing, but warned that size can sometimes matter more than skill. Malignaggi explained that history shows smaller champions often struggle when moving too far up in weight. He stressed that Jake Paul's natural size and punching power could cause serious problems for Crawford, even with Crawford's superior technique. For Malignaggi, the concern isn't about talent, but about physical limits. Boxing is still a sport where size, strength, and durability play a big role. He suggested that even a fighter as sharp and adaptable as Crawford will be taking a big risk against someone who outweighs him by so much, proving that skill doesn't always erase size disadvantages.
I think Davis is more to lose because he's the bona fide world champion. I don't care if he's much smaller. I think Jake Paul has sort of plateaued as far as where his boxing is concerned. It's rather low level. Yeah. He's big, he's physical, he's strong, he can hit. So there is that risk. Davis, at lightweight, you're in a moment where it's too physical for you. You can clinch. Against the heavyweight, where you clinching? You ain't getting out of that corner just clinching anymore if you run out of space. You know what I mean? So it's interesting. But Davis, listen, there's a lot of talking points that I'm sure we'll get into when this gets closer to the fight. Davis can still punch at lightweight. Can he drop a heavyweight? There's a lot to gain there, right? If Davis knocks
the answer is yes.
If Davis drops Jake on his ass, as much as Davis is the one with more to lose, it's still a highlight moment.
A visual that will stay forever.
Yeah. But if you get dropped, even if you're smaller, you're still a world champion, multiple weight classes. If you get dropped, what's the look? What's the feel? On the inside, as boxers, me and Chris Algieri, the champ, even you, Jimmy, you have fight experience, so we know that the risk is a big guy that big hits you. You're probably going down if you're a small guy if he hits you clean. So we know the risk, but how does it look to the public eye who don't understand that? You know what I mean? The public. So there is a lot to lose, though. There's a bit to gain. I wouldn't necessarily have an issue with this had Davis's career arc been one that benefited boxing. Davis was manufactured and put into a position where he's supposed to benefit boxing, and I don't think he has. I think he's hurt boxing. So by giving him this reward, that's my problem. Why are we watching this? Why don't you make him earn his spot that he still hasn't earned, mind you?
Analysts revealed that organizers had to make a major change when the original venue refused to host a highly publicized fight. Local officials dismissed the matchup as more of a circus than a real sporting event and refused to approve it. This decision surprised many, since the original location was seen as perfect for drawing a big crowd and generating major revenue. Instead of canceling or delaying, promoters quickly scrambled and secured a new venue within days. making sure the fight would still go ahead. However, the sudden move sparked criticism about the event's credibility. Critics argued that if such a respected arena rejected it, the fight might lack true sporting value. To many, the matchup now looks more like entertainment and money-making than a genuine competition. The venue change itself has become a hot topic, fueling the ongoing debate over whether these crossover fights really belong in boxing.
35 pounds. Jake Paul is over 50 pounds heavier than Gervonta Tank Davis, and he's nearly a foot taller than Gervonta Tank Davis. So no sanction body wants to, and no commission wants to, should I say, I keep saying sanction body, no commission wants to sanction it. They don't want to be a part of it, as I told you guys. So they announced that the fight was going to take place November 14th in Atlanta at the State Farm Arena where the Atlanta Hawks play. And the Georgia Athletic Commission, he came out and he made a serious statement. And he let the world know that they falsely advertised this fight, okay? Because no commission won't sanction it to be a real boxing match, let alone they're not even interested in allowing it to be an exhibition. Okay? They don't even want it to be, they don't even want to be responsible for an exhibition of this magnitude, right? So he comes out and he says, the commissioner, head of the Georgia Commission, he comes out, he says, quote, I believe it's in the public's interest to know because they've been promoting something they should not have been promoting. It's the dumbest thing I ever heard. It's a money grabber, and I'm not okay with that. So they telling him it's just for the money.
So, with fighters, legends, and even officials weighing in, this clash has become more than just a fight. It's a storm shaking the very foundations of boxing. Is it sport? Is it spectacle? Or is it the beginning of a new era? One thing's for sure, the world will be watching. Don't miss a second of the action. Subscribe now and join the debate.